I thought it might be nice to go through the field calibration steps in the manual as they're numbered and just do it step by step, so it's more of a synchronized experience for you. So you can watch the video, you can read the manual, and you can do it at the same time, following along with both. So I'm on page 42 of the manual. Let's do the pitch field first because it's very easy. So step one is to go to the main page and do an auto-cal. So I went to the main page, I pressed out, and now it's auto-calibrated. Step two is to go to the display page and make sure that post is set to 0. And then go to the P field page. And it tells you to set things up in a kind of a recommended way, and I'm not going to do that. I want you to see that how it behaves a little bit more scrambled, just so it's maybe a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to scramble pcal, I'm going to scramble sense, and I'm going to scramble offset plus. I've got lin set to 0, offset minus to 32, track to 1, div to 0, and I'm going to leave those alone. You don't generally have to mess with those when you do a pitch field calibration. So what is the next step? The next step is put your hand very near the antenna and pitch plate and do an open closed hand gesture and see what the sensitivity is. So I like about 4 half steps here, and we don't even have 2. So sensitivity is way too low. It's at 28 now. Let me go to like 38 or 39. Still too low. 42. Still too low. 45. That's about right. Maybe 46. Okay. That's step 3. And then we go to step 4, which is to check the far field sensitivity. And we can see that the far field sensitivity is way too low. So the pcal needs adjusting. Pcal is at 47, it's much too high, we need to lower it. So we're going down to, I don't know, 37, because it needs a lot of adjustment. It needs more. 27, 28. It's not bad, 28. So now we can go through and this is still step 4. We can go through the entire field and make sure that it's okay, that we get the same sort of response. And we do, so that's good. So pcal is at 28, sense is at 46, and step 5, you would adjust the sensitivity to what you would like it to be for like certain hand gestures, like maybe the octave hand gesture for an analog. And I'm not going to do that because this is the sensitivity that I like, but you could do that now. You could adjust the sensitivity knob to give you the, a comfortable octave or whatever you do. All right, so now step 6 is to adjust the offset plus, and what that does is it moves the field around. So where is A440? Well, A440, if you have a 4 here and you're on this LED, that's A440. So that's, it seems like I don't like that. I want A440 to be closer. So I'm going to lower offset plus. So that seems pretty good. So offset plus is 96. So there you have it. The P field is set up. Pcal 28, lin 0, offset minus 32, sense 46, track 1, div 0, offset plus 96. Let's do the volume field. The volume field is on the next page of the manual, and it's a little more involved because there are more knobs. All right, step 1 is to do an ACal. We'll do another ACal. All right, and then we go to step 2 is go to the volume page and zero everything out. We'll do that, and then go to the V field page and set it up again the way it's recommended in the manual. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the scrambling thing again. I'm going to set drop. Drop is a new knob. I'm going to set it to 0. I'm going to scramble VCal, sense, and offset plus. Right. So let's see. The next thing is we need to set sense to actually a negative value. And this is new too. Alright, so I've got sense set to -30. And what that'll do is give me a farther is louder kind of response. That's more traditional volume response. And now I'm going to adjust offset plus until the LEDs all go out with my hand right above the plate, open. Okay. So that was step 3. Now, step 4, what we want to do is do open and close hand right at the plate, and have the bottom LED only go from fully off to fully on. And you can see that the sensitivity is way too low. So -30, I'm going to go to -40, and I'm going to adjust offset plus again. Still need more. -50 for the sense. Just offset plus again. That looks pretty good. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm putting my hand right over the plate and pointing down, and I move my whole arm until the bottom LED just goes out. Then I close my hand, and then I move my arm again to make sure that I'm right at the threshold of the bottom LED and the next one up. Right, so step 5 then is to move up through the LEDs and get the field to respond the same everywhere to my open-closed hand. And so the sensitivity is at -50, and we'll leave that alone. And now we move on to, so we're moving on to the A-cal adjustment of like the far field. So we look at it, we look at the next one, that looks pretty good. Next one, it's really not bad. But there's still some room here. A little room there up at the top. VCal's 43, let's make it, I don't know, 30. Looks like there's still room there, 25 maybe. Okay, so 1 LED, 2 LEDs. Seems good. VCal 25, sense -50. So now we want to move on to the next step, and that is to, well, actually in between here, if you play non-traditionally, you would make sense positive, but I'm going to keep going with traditional sense here. With farther is louder. If I made sense positive here, it would be closer is louder, and that's new. So anyway, so let's adjust offset plus. This seems a little high to me for that. We're looking at basically the top LED, the loudest kind of like region here. That seems high to me, so I'm going to adjust offset plus and increase it. It was 55, now we're at 61. And 62. It feels comfortable to me. Maybe 63. Okay. So, step 6 then is to also to go back and, well, step 6 is to reload your preset. So we go back to the main page and we do a load and then go back. So this is, and what this did was it reloaded the voice preset too. So if you go to the volume page, you know, we have a knee again. We have K-loc is 45, knee is 9. So we can see that the bottom 3 LEDs take about the same movement as the top LED does. That's characteristic of Kalo, so we're around 48 and knee around 10, so we're around there. Now there's one last thing we can do. We can go back to the V-field page and we can adjust drop. This is the new knob. And what this does is it further squishes the very lowest volumes. So if you watch this lowest, drop is 0 right now, right? So let me turn on 2 LEDs and increase drop. I'm not going to move my hand, I'm just going to increase drop. So you can see that I go back and forth with this 0 drop, this is like 15 drop. Right. 15 is a little excessive, maybe. I don't know. It kind of really depends on what you're kind of expecting in the way of nonlinearity here. But I think a drop of around maybe 10. It feels pretty good to me. What it does too is it makes it so you don't have to play quite so close to the plate to turn off the volume, to silence it. Okay, so VCal 25, Lin 0, offset minus 32, sense minus 50, drop 10, dith 0, offset plus 62, and our fields are set up. So let's go to the system page, and if we store it in slot 0, it will be there when we power it back up, and our fields will be just the way we want them, and all we'll have to do probably is an ACAL. All right.